your journey today by liking, subscribing, and sharing our YouTube channel, KnowledgeWell Media, or by going to our Square site at knowledgewell-media.square.site and perusing over the available content and information. Also by submitting your email at the bottom of the Square site page in the Stay in the Loop section to receive priority information, specials, and other insider details. Or by signing up for a 1-hour consultation to tailor your specific educational needs in beginning your journey. You may do so at the aforementioned Square site, once again at knowledgewell-media.square.site. Here are a few other items in demand on our Square site. The Person Defined series, a 9-part video lecture series, comprehensively outlining the scheme to artfully deceive mankind into trading away his birthright, his natural liberties, and inherent rights. Pre-orders for The Yellow Bricks of Emerald, the first edition, offered presently as an ebook only. This book comprehensively uncovers the legal schemes, past, present, and future, of the elite powers and the U.S., subjecting American citizens to servitude and allegiance due to their own ignorance. The KnowledgeWell Video Lecture Series Trust Course, a comprehensive lecture series educating on the history, effects, and administration of the wealth-preserving, asset-protecting, private commercial entity known as a trust. Plus, we have our very own template and instructions to help you set up yours. And, coming soon, our apparel and product store for all things KnowledgeWell, including shirts, hats, jackets, cups, bumper stickers, and more. For all this and much, much more, as well as for any questions or comments, email to knowledgewell4u@gmail.com or go to our Square site at knowledgewell-media.square.site. And now, you've been made free. What are you going to do with it? Welcome. Come on in, everybody. Thanks for being here. As usual, we're here every Sunday, 11 a.m. Central Standard Time. And it's going to be a great show today. Make sure that you hit the thumbs up button. Let me know how the sound is. Let me know how the video quality is. Make sure we give the best presentation possible here at KnowledgeWell Media. We all want to put our best foot forward. We'll both do that, actually. All right. So, yeah, going to be a great conversation. Let me know that you are here in the comment section. You can let us know where you're listening from. Let me hit the low writer switch right quick because I took them out of the screen. Oh, yeah. All right. It's been an interesting week and no shortage of news. All kinds of things happening all around the world. And I'm sure in your neck of the woods. So let's cover it, shall we? I have 3 watching and 2 thumbs up. Please, somebody set the balance on my thumbs up. As you're coming in here, make sure that you are hitting the thumbs up button. We are talking about the mark of the beast, Antichrist, and the artificial person. All right, the filter. The filter. Which filter are you referring to? I don't even have a filter on here. Bear with me here. You know, it takes a few seconds just to get things warmed up. But once we get going, you know, it gets hot. So hold on here. Let me know how the sound quality is. Appreciate that. Help me help you. You know, we're delivering that information that you don't get elsewhere. Quality, factual, hard hitting, and in your face. All right. I have not worked out all the kinks yet, as far as being able to monitor. Just time, you know, is the issue. But I think it sounds good. Let me know in the comment section what you're picking up, what you're getting. All right. All right. So sounds good. Anybody? Give me a comment. Let me know it sounds good or sounds crappy or what. All right. Let's get going then. All right. So again, the topic. Mark of the Beast, Antichrist, and the artificial person. And this is part 2. We've done subsequent other parts. There's actually probably a total of 5 or 6 now. But we've really gone in on this particular under this title. Last week we started. So if you're interested in more on this topic, make sure that you look in the archives of the videos the last few Sundays, and you'll find more information. Terry Camp is in the building, first to sound off besides BB Productions. Thank you for being here, Terry. And she says 777. You know what that means? I'm getting stronger. All right. Greetings to you, Terry. Thank you for being here as usual. Okay. So I do want to also say or state that we will be starting I haven't given it an official sexy title yet, but basically our remedy group, okay, which is going to be more on the private side. We're going to be discussing things that actually contribute to you working legally, all right, with legally protectable interests in line with the fundamentals of the United States system, okay? We are not anti the system. It does work. I've done enough research and study to find that and to validate that while there is corruption, you know, in every government, in all facets of government, there still is a bona fide system that has lived upwards 250 years or so. Okay. So there must be something that works. Now, if you want to get into the issue of slavery and how colonizers took over the indigenous people and what have you, that's a whole nother discussion that we can have. I have no problem with that. And nor am I ignoring that. However, the show, as they say, must go on. And unless we're intending to pack up and leave and expatriate, we can very much play in this system and we can very much thrive in this system.
All right. If you are not distracted by all of the divisive tactics of the certain hidden hand, then you too can have a seat at the table. You legitimately can. There are white millionaires, brown millionaires. There are black, so-called black millionaires. I don't particularly like that term. Melanated is what I prefer, but I digress. You can have a seat at the table, but the way that we've done it previous was more of a belligerence from their perspective. The U.S. perspective is more belligerent and combatant. Okay. All of the wealthy elite got there either through inheritance or hard work. All right. So it is possible for you if you are wanting to put that hard work in. That's what it comes down to. All of the race issues, gender issues, and all that kind of stuff are a mere distraction. All right. And it is put there as the scripture says, as a snare. Okay. A trap, as it were, like you trap a small game or whatever, they step in, or a bear, you step in a bear trap. All right. And you are snared. That's known as a snare. All right. So if you are distracted by that, and that's all you are focusing on, that becomes a snare to you. It will literally hold you in place while the current around you, the people are moving with the current, the mainstream, and they're getting it in. Okay. Enough for that. That's essentially where we stand. And so we can ascend, right, to heavenly places through consciousness, through rational analysis, through doing our due diligence and study and research. We can ascend. And a lot of us are. A lot of us are. So any excuse that you have, there's going to be somebody with a worse story that has made it. So that should tell us something. It's not really going to be conducive to your end or beneficial to your ends to just rage against the machine and talk about, the corruption and the disfavor you might have because of a particular class you are in or find yourself in. It doesn't do any good, because there are people that were on welfare, single mothers included, with children, who have worked their way up and are very successful. I know a lot of them. Okay. So it is possible. So let's do away with the excuses for now. We will deal with the balance of equality and equity, going to the race issue, all of that shaking out anyways. The truth is being revealed anyways. So let's not even be distracted with that. Let's get economically sound. Let's start to build legacy and wealth the legitimate, legal way. Let me say this lastly. There is no shortcut. There is no shortcut. There is no shortcut. All right. But you can expedite. Yes, you can expedite it. All right. Based on your due diligence and how serious you are about legacy building and wealth building. And we're going to start to teach that. That'll be separate from this. This is the public, offering, but we're going to have a private offering. If you are interested in that, I want to hear from you. All right. If you want to take part in those courses, perhaps we'll do Zoom or something to that effect, because it needs to be more private and by invite only, because this information is not for the everybody. All right. Some people will take this and try to use this to further enslave other people. That's not what I'm not going to strengthen the hand of the wicked, as it were. Okay. So it's going to be in the private. All right. And if you're there, it's because you are serious about your education, about your economy, about your legacy. That's the only reason you're going to be there. All right. And I accept that, it may be few. That's fine. I'm only taking the ones that are destined to win. All right. And that are going to put their due diligence in. Okay. That's where we're at with that. So if you're interested in that, please sound off this week. I need to know. All right. Because that will determine how much, how quickly I will put this curriculum together and get the course set up. Okay. I can get this thing set up within a week. I need to know who's interested in participating. All right. And there will be a membership fee, and that's going to just take care of the time that I'm investing. All right. I'm doing it for you as well as my family. All right. So if you are interested in that, again, sound off, hit me up at the KnowledgeWell Media Gmail right here. All I need to know is you just put something to the effect of, let's say wealth builders. Just put wealth builders in there, and I will respond to you via that email. Okay. All right. Let's start on that this week. All right. And we will establish that first course. Okay. And the people that sound off this week will be included in that. We'll run that course, and we're going to be talking about educating in economics, okay, trust and trust law and what have you. All right. Again, this is for educational purposes. It will not be considered legal advice. We are not going to do anything for you as far as filling out documentation and all that. No, but we will do the discovery. All right. Find the legally protectable rights and interests that you can lay claim to. That's what we're going to do. We're going to educate from that standpoint, but we are not attorneys. Okay. We don't give legal advice. It's merely for educational purposes. So if you're interested in that, once again, sign off, let me know this week. And those are who I'm going to go with on the first installment. Okay. KnowledgeWell, the number 4, the letter U at gmail.com. All right. Sounds good. Then it sounds great. I also want to say that we're going to do a t-shirt giveaway. Okay. Exclusive, very soft, very smooth to the skin. This very shirt I hold in my hand will become someone's out there. All right. It's a woke t-shirt made exclusively. Has the KnowledgeWell logo on the, I believe it's called sleeve. There it is right there. So if you would like this t-shirt, very soft, stretchy, very good material. I love the way, they fit just great, And they are, again, handcrafted, courtesy of BB Productions. And it's a woke t-shirt, very stretchy, very nice, very soft. All right. So we'll be giving this away. I will think of something by the end of this show that you can do to win it. We'll see who wins it. Maybe it's a participation thing. Maybe it's answering a little, what do they call those, pop-up quiz at the end, and we'll see who's been paying attention. All right. We'll see what happens. All right. We'll make it fun. We'll make it fun yet. All right. Let's get to it now. So we have 3 watching and still two thumbs up. Let's see if we can fix that, would you? Mark of the Beast, Antichrist and the Artificial Person, Part 2. Let me give just a brief summary to catch everyone up that might be new here. We're going to start with the commentaries on the laws of England and work our way into the new content, going to the construction of this legal person. How was it constructed? Who constructed it? How was it attached to you? How were you marked with this? Okay, because I contend that it's the mark of the beast. It's not just one aspect. There's several aspects to it. Okay, and then there's the conflation of all of those as one mark. Okay, so let's talk about that. First of all, let's get a foundation. Okay, so commentaries on the laws of England was written, as you'll see here. Let me share screen. The most substantial information, all right, this side of the world today. We're going to discuss that here and now. Mark of the Beast, you want to know what it is? You want to know whether you have it, who's going to give it to you, how it's applied to you, how it's created? You're going to know today. How you like that? How you like me now? All right. Sip of coffee. Delicious. Not really. It's not really delicious, is it? It's what we add to it that makes it delicious. The coffee itself, you probably, well, some of you might drink it black. I've done it before. It's not really delicious. I wouldn't say it's delicious. Yeah. Most of the things we eat now, we wouldn't even eat if it wasn't for the food enhancers, right? The taste enhancers, the salts, the seasoned salts and whatever. You wouldn't just eat the stuff raw. I don't know. I digress. Just stuff. I'm always like this, y'all. All right. Commentaries on the laws of England, written by one William Blackstone. William Blackstone was a great jurist. William Blackstone was a Tory politician, and William Blackstone was a justice. Yes, like the Supreme Court justices. Okay, so I proved last week. If you don't believe me, you can go back and watch last Sunday for the proof and evidence of the the gravitas of this particular individual who wrote the commentaries on the laws of England. Okay. Which, as you know, the English colonies were established here in the Americas and so on and so forth. So these commentaries played a huge role in the creation. I just thought I turned off the notifications here. Okay, there we go. Played a huge role in the construction and development of what we now know as the United States Constitution and its government. Okay, this is where that experiment came from in 1789, right? Now, these were from 1765, okay, 1765-ish, the commentaries on the laws of England. So obviously they preceded by about 25 years. So let's get to it. So William Blackstone is the author, and we're going to be going we're going to be going to the rights of corporations right here, chapter 18th. All right. And you see it right here, Blackstone's commentaries on the laws of England, book the first, chapter 18 of corporations. We're talking about artificial persons. We're talking about the mark of the beast. We're talking about the Antichrist, anti meaning against, Christ meaning the chosen one or the anointed one. And don't you know it? Ye are gods. Ye are one of a billion sperm cells that made it in and ascended, right? And became you. Ye are gods. You are the chosen one that the scripture refers to. Ye are the Christ. And anyone that goes against you as a natural human being is participating in what is called Antichrist, or against the anointed one or the chosen one, which ye are. How you like me now? All right, here we go. And so these artificial persons that they created here, that William Blackstone is going to be talking about, are seeking or were created, constructed legally to replace you, your human self. That's Antichrist by definition, against the holy one, the set apart one, the chosen one. All right, so here we go. So here's what William Blackstone has to say. He's going to tell you why they did it. And we need to establish this for a foundation. Hold on tight. It's going to get bumpy. Here it goes. We have hitherto considered persons in their natural capacities. So once again, this top part here is considering the natural, and it will make the contrasting distinction between the natural and the artificial. Very good. Here we go. So they're saying we have considered persons in their natural capacities and have treated of their rights and duties. We've considered their rights and duties of a natural person, is what it's saying. But as all personal rights die with the person, and as the necessary forms of investing a series of individuals, your inheritors, right, your successors, one after another with the same identical rights, would be very inconvenient, if not impracticable. Okay, so let me just break that down. I want to make sure that we have this. So all they're saying is, in summation, is that humans, under the natural order, under natural law, when they die, all of their rights die with them. Simple, right? Only humans, though. They're considering the humans. So as a result, it has been found necessary, when it is for the advantage of the public to have any particular rights kept on foot and continued, all right, to constitute what are known as artificial persons. When they're talking about the public, you should think of government, society, the state as a body politic. You're going to see that a little bit more as we go on. That's what he's considering. When it comes to the state, when it comes to a government, a society of people, a community of people, a political community, when it comes to that as a whole body, okay, when it comes to transferring rights upon the death of a person, all right, we are considering that we have to create something outside of natural law. Because under the laws of nature, it says that when you cease to exist, so does everything you own and everything your rights too. If you were a slave, if you were a free man, when you die, who cares? It's all gone. Okay. So they said, we don't want that to happen. We don't like natural law in this from this aspect. We don't like that very much. We want, as you're going to see, we want it to go on and on and on, perpetual succession. All right, let me keep going here. So when considering the society, the community, the state, all right, and keeping rights on foot, meaning continual, right? We said, let us create or constitute artificial persons. Why? Who may maintain what? A perpetual succession. Ongoing. And what else? And it can enjoy a kind of legal immortality. Not natural immortality, legal immortality. All right? Man-made, man construct. Okay? So, again, bye-bye natural law, God's law, the source, whatever, bye-bye. We are going to become our own gods. We are going to create our own entities and persons, which they will disobey. They will be anti to the natural law and its order, which says that humans die at a certain age. The scripture says 100 man shall live to be 120 years, and that's it. Man came along and said these aristocratic families, these upper echelon, these elitist bloodlines came along and said, we could do much better than that. Against Christ, the chosen one. These artificial persons are designed to replace you. How you like that for transhumanism? All right. Now, just a little bit more. These artificial persons are called what? Bodies politic, bodies corporate, or corporations. You heard of a corporation before? That is an artificial person. That is a man-made artifice, an artificial person, okay? Of which there's a great variety subsisting, and they are for advancement of religion, that's churches, of learning, that's colleges and universities, and of commerce, right? Your corporations, your LLCs, your C types, S types, right? All for commerce and trade. Those are the different types of body politics, aka artificial persons, including your state. All is commerce, as we covered on the last live. All is commerce, from Genesis all the way to the end of the Bible in Revelations. Because we know in Revelations, specifically, it talks about the mark of the beast. And without that mark, you will not be able to do what? Buy, sell, or trade. All is commerce. All. All right, so let's go on from there. Now, did it switch? Stay right there. One. How's that for an opening? All right, so I must have did this wrong again. All right, let me get up the other screen here. Share screen. Not Sharon Stone. Window. Do I want to share window or screen? Let me see. All right. So real quick, positive law. Okay. What is positive law? We're at the U.S. House of Representatives, Office of the Law Revision Council, United States Code, reputable source. You can see the HTML or URL, whatever, up on the top here. It's not something I'm making up. This is not a screen grab or whatever. It's still there. You can go there yourself and see what I'm saying is true. Let's look at positive law real quick. Just laying our foundation before we get going. Sound off. Let me know you're listening. Even if you're watching on replay. You know, I don't get any responses from the people that are watching this after the live. I'd like to see see your input. All right. Comments, questions, concerns, arguments. All right. Feel free. I will not take it personally. A great debate is healthy. I love them. All right. So get involved. Even you watching this perhaps tomorrow. All right. United States Code. What is positive law? All right. So we asserted over here. Hey, it works. We asserted over here the rights of the corporation that they are man-made. They made them for perpetual succession and for a type of legal immortality because they did not. They're anti-Christ. They're against Christ and against the natural order, against you as a human being. This is a discussion that is distinguishable, as you're going to see here, from natural law. Let's make that distinction. Let's prove that distinction. All right, here it is. Positive law right here in the middle, right here. In general, the term positive law, it's a term, a legal term is what they're letting you know. Positive law connotes or suggests statutes. That is to say, or i.e., law that has been enacted by a duly authorized legislature. We're talking about positive law. What's another term or name for positive law? Statutes. You know, like your state statute. Okay? What else is a state statute? It is law that has been enacted by a duly authorized legislature. A duly authorized legislature, meaning that the people have chosen them, elected them, put them into that position, all right, and they are duly, authorized by the people. Remember, the governments, which the legislative body is one third, right, derives its just powers from the consent of the governed. That means the people duly authorize the legislatures, okay? And the legislatures, once again, create what are known as statutes. Statutes mean or are positive law. Let's keep going. So as used in this sense, what sense? In the sense that this is man-made law that is made by or created by a duly authorized legislature that has been put into place by the people that agree to be citizens of a particular state, right? And since they are the laws of the state, they are known as statutes or statutes, okay? And they are also called positive law. Making sense? Making dollars. Let's keep going. All right, so as used in that sense, positive law is distinguishable. I'm going to hit this word a bunch of times. In fact, every live, we're going to focus on the relevance and the significance of this term here. Read it backwards. It is able to be distinguished. Okay? Able to be distinguished. So positive law is able to be distinguished from natural law. Okay? Light and darkness. Right? Life and death. There's always that duality. Feminine, masculine, right? Up, down. Okay. And in this case, positive law versus natural law. Okay. And so they are distinguishable from each other. You should be able to make the distinction between these two laws. Very vital and very important that you are able to do that. You're going to see why in short order. The term natural law, especially as used generally in legal philosophy, refers to a set of universal principles. Uni meaning one, verse meaning to turn. So one turn, all things turning together, whether you're black, aka melanated, whether you're white, whether you're yellow, whether you're red, it's universal. These are universal principles because we all bleed red. Okay? That's why natural law is distinguishable, as you're going to see, from positive law, which is simply man-made law. Natural law is God's law. We are all subject to it universally. If all of your blood is drained from your body, you will cease to exist just like I will. I don't care what nationality you are. I don't care what color you are. I don't care what your social status is. When you don't have any blood in your body, you are gone, Jack, just like I am. Universal principles. Natural law says you must have blood, hemoglobin. You must have red and white blood cells. You must do all, you see what I'm saying? That's natural law. And that is universal. And that is the human condition. Okay? So the term natural law, especially as used generally in legal philosophy, refers to a set of universal principles and rules. What do these principles and rules do? Joseph Henson is in the building. 777. I feel myself getting stronger. Terry Camp says 777 as well. And at this point, I don't think I can get stronger. Let's do this. Rules. All right. What do these rules and these principles do? Properly, not improperly, not figuratively, properly govern what? Moral human conduct. Conduct is the behavior. So human behaviors. Again, one is not the same as the other. One of these kids is not like the others. I think that's how it went. Remember Sesame Street? Anyways, natural law, all right, obviously has to do with human behavior. And the House of Representatives is saying that consideration is able to be distinguished from positive law. And since they went at Wanda, Noel is in the building. Thank you for being here. 777. I feel myself getting a bit stronger. Let's go. So, positive law, since there is a distinction, then that means that, since there is a distinction and natural law is talking about human conduct or behaviors, all right, then positive law cannot be referring to human behaviors. Simply put. All right, go back and watch the previous Sunday's lives for a greater understanding on that and evidence and proof, okay? So, here's the kicker. Here's the kicker. On top of everything that they're saying here, they give you the pecking order. They say natural law is thought to be the pre-existing law of nature. Pre-existing to what? To every other law, including positive law. Which came first? The chicken or the egg? Well, in this case, natural law came first. It is pre-existing. It is the pre-existing law of nature. Now, here's the kicker. Which human beings, not AI, not a robot, not any artificial persons, which human beings can discover. Look at, they put emphasis on discover. Meaning, this is not something that will be given to you freely. You must discover it. You can discover this. How? Through their humans, capacity. Only you have the ability as a human being, because ye are gods. Ye are the chosen one. Ye are the anointed one. Ye are Christ on this earth, the Son of God. Only you have this capacity, Neo. You are the chosen one. I told you, 1 out of 1 billion sperm cells. All else were lost. Everyone else was lost. They swam off the cliff. like those pigs cast into the swine, or excuse me, those demons, the legion, right? In the scriptures that were cast into the swine, and the swine jumped off the cliff and killed themselves. Only one was left. Ye are gods. You are the chosen one. You have the capacity. For what? Rational analysis. Huh? Are you employing rational analysis today, like we're doing right now? This is what we are doing right now. I'm giving you a demonstration of employing rational analysis. I don't have to go to 100 dictionaries. Okay? I'm using rational analysis, preponderance of evidence, and rational analysis. Only we humans can do this. So that's how you discover natural law. Now, let's do a little something that I like to do here. Let's do a reverse. I can't do that Jim Carrey thing. Remember, he rewinds and goes in reverse. And look at this. I like to read things to invert what we're reading. Watch how powerful this is. If you do not employ what is called rational analysis, if you don't have the capacity to do that, right, then you will not be able to discover natural law. So let me ask you a question. If you are not able to discover natural law, and they are making the distinction between positive and natural law, 2 minus 1 equals 1. Then you only have one left, is my point. If you do not have the capacity for rational analysis to discover natural law, you might look like most of the citizenship of the United States, the 95% tile. You might be looking like them right now, wondering which way is up. I feel like I'm enslaved. I don't get it. I thought we ran the government. Why do we always have to go to the government for permission to do things like fishing and all? I don't get it. I thought we were free. Perhaps not. Perhaps because you are not employing rational analysis, as we are doing here, as only KnowledgeWell Media does it. Perhaps you're not doing that. So therefore, you can't discover natural law, which incorporate your natural rights, your God-given rights. So since you haven't discovered that, you only have one left, baby. And that is positive law. What's the significance of that? Well, you can be ruled by man, or you can be ruled by natural law. The choice is yours. Let me show you why this, and then we'll move on. Remember the term jural that we did? If not, go back and look in the archives the last few weeks, and you'll see. More evidence, more proof. Uh-oh, what did I do? What I do? Here we go. We'll just go right here. Thank goodness for cache memory. Look it. You know I'm from Midwest. Look it. Jural. Let me show you why this is important. If you don't discover what is called natural law, you're going to be subject as a member of a political community by definition. You don't believe me? I'm glad you don't. Let me show you what I'm talking about before we get into jural. Watch this. Let me show you. Let me show you. I'm going to have to blow it up, ain't I? Hold on. One moment. Stay right there. Don't move. Remember the definition of citizen? Right here on the bottom. And please don't forget, if I forget to switch the screen and you're not seeing what I'm reading from, it's very important that you do. So I like to prove things, not just assert things, make claims, unfounded claims. I don't want to do that. So please just let me know in the comment section that you're not seeing what I'm reading, if that be the case. Thank you. Citizen, definition of citizen. One who, under the Constitution and laws of the United States or of a particular state, is a member of the political community. Under meaning subject to. This is the point I'm making. That if you cannot or do not discover natural law, you will find yourself subject to the other law. Huh? Choose ye life. I give unto you, I present before you life and death, as the scripture says. And it tells you to choose life. Okay? So you're always going to have a choice, a yin and a yang, up and a down, black and white, free and bond. Okay? You're always going to have a choice. And here it is. So if you choose to be a citizen, you're choosing to be somebody under somebody else's authority. Now, this is not an anti-government rant. You'll understand more as we go on that this is merely informational and educational, and it's for a purpose. There is remedy. There is remedy. I assure you of that, and you will see that there is remedy, and it's not what we thought it was. Okay? And we'll discuss that remedy again. We'll be having private classes. If you're interested in that, hit us up at the email that you're seeing there at the bottom left of your screen, I think it is. KnowledgeWell4u@gmail.com if you're interested. You need to let me know this week, though, because we'll be putting the class together, and we'll only be taking, a certain few on the first installment. We'll do it again, but initially, we're only going to take a certain few. All right. So a citizen is a member of the political community. That's that state. That's that artificial person that we talked about, that body's politic. Okay. A citizen becomes a member. Now, the point was, this is Black's Law 5th edition, by the way, abridged edition. Owing allegiance. This is a citizen. Owing allegiance and being entitled to the enjoyment of full civil rights, not natural rights. You don't inherit natural rights. You don't inherit natural rights because you're born with them. But as a citizen and a member of the political community of that artificial person, you can inherit what are known as civil rights. Civil rights, civil suggests contracts. That's what it suggests. All persons born, this is a citizen, or naturalized in the United States, and what is this term? Subject. Do you see what's happening here? If you cannot or do not discover what is called natural law, you only have one other option, which is positive law, which you'll see in a moment when we go to jural, has jurisdiction over particular types of persons. These persons are members of the political community, of the artificial community. Well, if it's an artificial community, do you think humans dwell there? Didn't it say that natural law properly governs moral human conduct and behaviors? And it made a distinction between natural law and positive law, saying that they are distinguishable. Therefore, positive law does not properly govern moral human behaviors. Later for that. So citizens are subjects to the jurisdiction of the United States and the state in which they reside. That's the 14th Amendment. That's what it's talking about. You see it right there. Creating citizens of a artificial corporation. So therefore, the citizens have to be artificial. Are you picking up the huge bomb I just dropped? I guess that doesn't make much sense, but I'll use it for now. Did you just pick that up? If it is an artificial existence, if it is an artificial person, if it is an artificial construct, legal construct of men, then the residents themselves must also be artificial. How would that happen? How would that happen? You're going to know. We are talking about the mark of the beast, the Antichrist. How are they replacing you as a human being or your human natural rights? How are they doing that? Through the creation of the artificial person. And if they are trying to replace that which is of nature, of God, of the source of all that is natural, that, by definition, is Antichrist against the chosen ones. We are talking the mark of the beast, Antichrist, and the artificial person. This is part 2. We'll try to put a link in the description of this video so that you can get over to part 1 expeditiously. It is a must. Joseph Henson has confirmed that he just sent the email for information on the class. Awesome. My number 1 student. All right. Hopefully we'll get much more participation. It's necessary. Stop looking all over the place, being tossed by every wind of doctrine. A lot of people are being misguided by these gurus who are promising freedom that they cannot deliver. They cannot produce what is known as a legally protectable interest. Therefore, the courts, the state, its agencies do not have to recognize your claims as a free man, a sovereign citizen. They don't have to recognize any of that. You must have a legally protectable interest, and this is why we come from the books, the very books that the judges and the justices use themselves. If people can't back it up factually, black and white letter, ain't nothing moving, baby. All right? That's why I say this is the type of teaching you get here at KnowledgeWell Media. Thorough, hard-hitting, and in your face. Factual, documented, legally protectable. That's the standard. All right, going on. Citizens, they are members of what type of community? A political community. Who, in their associated capacity. Now, I pose to you the question. If natural law properly governs moral human conduct or behaviors, and it is distinguishable from positive law, then positive law does not properly govern moral human behaviors. So we asked the question a week or 2 ago, then what does positive law govern over if it's not humans? Well, we determined, and you're going to see in a moment when we go to the definition of jural, that these are particular types of persons, jural persons. Jural persons become or are citizens. Because if it's an artificial existence, known as a state, an artificial person, which William Blackstone matter-of-factly states is. Did you catch it, or do I need to show you that? He says that the state is an artificial person itself. Therefore, how can humanity dwell in the artificial? So they said that we need to create artificial persons who can have recognition in the legal order, in this artificial realm, this realm of constructs, man-made constructs, statutes, codes, ordinances. We're going to create juristic persons. And you're going to know today how that happens. And how do we know that is true? Because first of all, it is a political community. What is a political community? It is an artificial community. Man contrived, a mythology, metaphorical community. Who in these members of that political community themselves have to be a type of artificial person. You cannot mix artificial with nature. It does not work too well, does it? Ever heard of GMOs? Huh? It doesn't work too well, does it? You putting GMOs inside of your natural body. How's that working out for you lately? How many different types of cancers are there today? Does it look like it's going down any? No. How many different types of H1N1 and COVID-19s and all these different viruses are being brought on the world? You know, why is that? Because you cannot mix the artificial in the natural and think you're going to get a good outcome. That is Antichrist. It is against your natural body. Members, these are citizens. Members, you became a member. You become a member. You are not a member until you sign the contract. It is through that signing of the contract that you become a member. of what type of community? A political community, which is a state, which is a jural society, aka an artificial person. So these members have to be themselves artificial in order to be inducted into an artificial realm. Are you picking up what I just put down? These members, these artificial persons themselves are acting in a particular capacity, an associated capacity. We covered that in the last live. Go back and watch that so that you can get the greater understanding of what it means to be in or acting in an associated capacity. Very relevant, very important. So through that particular role that you are playing on the world stage, you are acting in the capacity of, or in an associated capacity. What have you done? You have established or submitted yourselves to the dominion of a government. That'll teach. All right, let's get back. How do I get back? One moment. I will figure it out. There I go. This room is all clear now. Again, I want to mention, I'm going to ask some questions. You can win this shirt, this very shirt, not a copy, not a duplicate, this one and only shirt made hot off the presses by BB Productions. We want to know if you're paying attention. We want to know. We're going to have some way that you can win this. Stick around into the show. Nice stretchy shirt, very comfy and soft. I should autograph it. Should I autograph it and send it to you? Has the KnowledgeWell logo on the sleeve. Oh, yeah. Very nice, right? Courtesy of BB Productions. She makes these and does a bang-up job. It's very comfy and stretchy. You know, very nice. Very nice. Woke t-shirt. You could win. I think I cut my mic off. I question how long it's been. Yeah, thank you. Thank you, Joseph. Got my back. Good looking. I think it's on now. Should be on now. All right. I must have hit it with my finger. Okay. All right. Thank you. Thank you. Let's look at Jural. Apologize for that. I get animated and I get to touching stuff and hitting stuff. Only off for 20 seconds. Okay. So then you heard about the shirt. I give everybody an opportunity to win this particular shirt right here, courtesy of BB Productions. And you probably saw, you just didn't hear what I was saying, but stay tuned. End of the show, we'll show you how you can win that shirt today. All right. Then we'll have it mailed off, shipped off to you. Okay. I should autograph it. That's not funny. Okay, you heard all about the shirt. Okay, thank you very much, BB Productions. Thank you. Appreciate the participation. Thank you for having my back. Let me look at the comment section real quick. All right. All right, we saw that. Terry Camp gives us 3 bombs. Awesome. All right, so the link is already in the description for part 1. Okay, awesome. Thank you for that, BB Productions. Ready for heaven citizenship instead of my legal citizenship. All right. And heaven is a state of consciousness, right? State of consciousness. Kundalini rising, right? All the way up. Symbol, you know. Heaven. All right. Joseph Henson says, are you reading from the federal laws of civil procedure or American jurisprudence or corpus juris secundum or another book? I apologize. Okay. Yeah, at that point, I was reading from the Black's Law Dictionary, 5th edition, abridged. All right. United States versus Cruikshank. I believe. Yeah, I think I did hear about that. Oh, you saw the case law. Did it show case law? Under the definition of citizenship or citizen, you saw the case law? Okay, I don't see any case law there. I'm not sure. You can further develop what you're saying. Okay. Joseph Henson says, please send links to buy shirts. I did not see them on website. All right, BB Productions should be working on that. And yep, sending shortly. So she's got your back. Thank you for that, BB Productions. Thank you, Joseph Henson, for your inquiry. All right, so let's keep going here. Jural. We were talking about the state, the artificial person, being artificial, and therefore the participants, the members of that political community, that state, that artificial person also must be themselves a type of artificial person. Are you an artificial person? Let's see. So jural, the definition of jural, here we go. So we're at the Law Dictionary. You can see it there. It's the second edition. I think it was 1910. Jural, pertaining to natural or positive right. Okay, listen, look what they said right off the bat. It's one or the other. Natural or positive right, suggesting that positive right is something other than natural. You see the distinction? They did tell us, didn't they? They told us that you should be able to distinguish between what is natural and what is unnatural or artificial. You see how they've been giving us these hints, these clues this whole time. We just didn't have eyes to see or ears to hear. See how that works? The blind lead the blind, they both fall in the ditch, the scripture says. See that? They've been telling us. They make the distinction. It says jural is pertaining to natural or positive right, or to the doctrines of rights and obligations. Tell me what the doctrines of rights and obligations are. Or is. The doctrines are. Huh? Wouldn't that be your political and civil rights? Political rights? Citizenship grants you civil rights, as it says. Those are granted to you. And citizenship also requires obligations. It imposes obligations upon you as a citizen, doesn't it? So that's the doctrine of rights, political and civil rights. Or excuse me, the doctrine of rights and obligations. Citizenship. Okay, so this is jural. As jural relations. What is jural relations? I'm glad you asked. Let me show you. Let's go down to the bottom here. Look what it says. Here's the jural relations. Where is it at? Right here. Jural is recognized or sanctioned, punished by what? Positive law. Recognized is the way you should read it. Meaning you were one thing or under one status, and you were recognized into a completely different status. Sanctioned by positive law, meaning state statute says what? Speed limit is X. Don't exceed it, or we will sanction you. These are jural relations. Look. Thus, the jural sphere is to be distinguished. Remember, positive law is distinguishable from natural law. Here's a further distinction. Thus, the jural sphere is to be distinguishable from what? the moral sphere, because natural law, which is the antithesis to positive law, properly governs moral human conduct. So this opposite, this opposing sphere, the jural sphere, there's the jural sphere and moral sphere, there's positive law and natural law. See? Thus, the jural sphere is to be distinguished from the moral sphere. The latter, meaning this one here, where humans reside under the moral sphere, denoting the whole scope, demonstrating, expressing the whole scope or range of ethics, or the science of conduct, the study of conduct. What properly governs moral human conduct? Natural law. Under what sphere? The moral sphere. They're making the grand distinction. We're the only ones that have been missing it this whole time. William Blackstone said we created artificial persons for no less than two reasons. Perpetual succession and a type of legal immortality. Ixnay on the natural law and the natural order that sets the limitations of humanity, determines that you're going to die if certain things are not present in your body. If you do not feed yourself proper foods. That's what natural law says. If you put fire to your skin, you will burn. A bit morbid, but you get what I'm saying. There is a natural way, and then there is a man-made artificial way. How many laws have been enacted by man going to a type of usurpation of what is deemed natural? There is a natural way that you function. And man has taken on the hobby, I'll say, of introducing all kinds of artificial things to so-called enhance your human body, pump you full of all kinds of things. How has that worked out for you and your family? Moving on. So when it comes to the moral sphere where humans reside under natural law, under the natural order, under God's law, when it comes to that sphere, this deals with the range, the whole scope or range of ethics or the science, the study of the conduct of humanity, of all that is natural. The former being the jural sphere, the opposite sphere, this one here, embracing only such portions of the same as have been made the subject. What is a citizen? A member through a contract who now, because of that contractual or jural relation, has been made a subject of the dominion. Is it a natural dominion or a fictional, artificial dominion? Is the question. Well, William Blackstone said it best. The body politic, the political community is itself an artificial person. Therefore, all of its inhabitants and residents must themselves be artificial. You cannot mix natural and artificial together and have a beneficial, long-lasting outcome. We are talking the mark of the beast, Antichrist, the artificial person, and this is part 2. Look in the description of this video for part 1. Don't forget, you can win this shirt by the end of the show. Stay tuned to figure out how you can do that. Nice, soft, woke t-shirt. Let me do this here. I'm in the little box. I want to be in a big box. We do big things. We go in the big box. You can win this shirt by the end of the show. Stay tuned out for details on how. All right. Perhaps I'll do a little pop quiz, see who was paying attention. First answer, maybe we'll win or something to that effect, or we'll think of something. BB Productions helped me think of a way that people can get this shirt. We will ship this out to you. All right. Courtesy of BB Productions. She created it over at BB Production Studios. Check out BB Production, you know, to pick up other shirts and things like that. You can, I think she put the link, yeah, in the comment section here. So if you're interested in t-shirts and cups and mugs and things that are handcrafted, handmade from BB Productions, hit us up or let us know in the comment section. Otherwise, you can hit that email up here. Now, come on, knowledgewell4u@gmail.com. All right. Please visit BB Productions on the YouTube channel. You can see how some of these things are crafted. All right. Let's get back to it. Watch this. What kind of, so we basically established that the state, the body's politics, the jural societies, et cetera, the state, as you're going to see here in a moment, are all artificial. And you can elect to become a citizen by social compact or a type of contract. You can elect to bind yourself or be bound under the state, the government, et cetera, et cetera. But how can a human traverse into an artificial realm? That's the question we're going to answer. Mark of the beast, Antichrist, and its mark. All right, talking about artificial persons. So the moral sphere is distinguishable or distinguished from what is known as the jural sphere, just like positive law is distinguished or distinguishable from natural law. Natural law has to do with human conduct, and positive law has to do with the opposite, the conduct of artificial persons, legal entities. Okay? And so look right here. Thus, the term, we were talking about jural relations. What are jural relations? It's the legal relation that the members have or the artificial persons have to the state. The state is the god of artificial persons, legal persons. It gives them charter to exist. Huh? You see how man has mimicked the so-called, no, not so-called, natural order? You know, we give credit to a God, right, that has created all things natural, or a goddess, Mother Nature. Then man says, I can do better. Antichrist. I can do better. We can create our own universes. We can create our own artificial persons that will worship us, worship the state. Huh? Caesar then becomes God in this artificial consideration, this legal consideration. All right? So check this out. Thus, the term jural society. This is a type of society. What type of society? A jural society. Why is that significant? Why is that significant? What does it say about jural again? Recognized or sanctioned by positive law. The legislator writes the laws. Who enforces the laws? What is the enforcement branch of government? The executors. Like the one that used to, can I say that? Chop off heads, you know, of the criminals and whatever. The executor. The executive branch, you know, enforces the law. And then there's one other branch, the judicial branch. Their task is to interpret the laws. They are the ones that lay the sanction upon you, making a judgment upon you based on the evidence that is presented before them, acted out, reenacted in front of them on the world stage. The judiciary recognizes your rights. And they also sanction in accordance with positive law, which are statutes. Huh? So the consideration is, I lost my point, but jural, it's a jural society. It's a particular type of society. So it is a society that is recognized or sanctioned by the judiciary in accordance with positive law, the statutes, is the point. In other words, they created something that the courts recognize or can recognize in order to adjudge a matter or produce an outcome for the people, for the community. This is why they created the artificial person, as William Blackstone stated. Because when it comes to natural law and the natural order, the artificial, the state, the jural society, the body politic there is no parity. They are not on par with each other. They cannot be conflated and commingled. So they can't judge or sanction a human being. So they had to create an artificial person, a jural type person, a juristic type person that you can wear like a mask through becoming a member of the political community, so that the courts can render judgment, because the courts themselves are an artificial person. How can an artificial person have parity with that which is natural? That is Antichrist. That is replacing that which is natural. That is usurping the throne of the gods. Ye are gods. Ye are the anointed one. You are the chosen one. All right, let's keep going. Is it good? 7, 7, 7. Thank you, BB Productions. It gets much better. Listen. So what is a jural society? Just to bring it home, just to prove it to you, what I'm saying here. The term jural society is used as the synonym to what? Booyah. State. An organized political community. That's a state. A jural society. A society which is only recognized or sanctioned by positive law. And does positive law govern humans? Not according to the House of Representatives here. Look, U.S. House of Representatives, Office of the Law Revision Council. This is per the United States Code. And they say what? That only natural law properly governs moral human conduct. It is distinguishable from positive law. So that means the distinction is that positive law, aka statutes, aka law that has been enacted by a duly authorized legislature, that does not govern or properly govern moral human conduct or behaviors. Are you picking up what I just put down? Let's take a break. I'll be right back. Stay right where you are. It gets better. Let's get on today's topic. Yes, we'll be right back.
Start your journey today by liking, subscribing, and sharing our YouTube channel, KnowledgeWell Media, or by going to our Square site at knowledgewell-media.square.site and perusing over the available content and information. Also by submitting your email at the bottom of the Square site page in the Stay in the Loop section to receive priority information, specials, and other insider details. or by signing up for a 1-hour consultation. Here are a few other items in demand on our Square site. The Person Defined series, a 9-part video lecture series, comprehensively outlining the scheme to artfully deceive mankind into trading away his birthright, his natural liberties, and inherent rights. Pre-orders for The Yellow Bricks of Emerald, the first edition, offered presently as an ebook only. This book comprehensively uncovers the legal schemes, past, present, and future, of the elite powers and the U.S., subjecting American citizens to servitude and allegiance due to their own ignorance. The KnowledgeWell Video Lecture Series Trust Course, a comprehensive lecture series educating on the history, effects, and administration of the wealth-preserving, asset-protecting, private commercial entity known as a trust. Plus, we have our very own template and instructions to help you set up yours. And, coming soon, our apparel and product store for all things KnowledgeWell, including shirts, hats, jackets, cups, bumper stickers, and more. For all this and much, much more, as well as for any questions or comments, email to knowledgewell4u@gmail.com or go to our Square site at knowledgewell-media.square.site. And now, you've been made free. What are you going to do with it?
All right, and we are back. Thank you for being here. Thank you for your comments. Thank you for your participation. We are bringing it hot and heavy, not playing any games. It's time for the people to find the remedy, to experience the remedy, to experience the heaven on earth. That's what we're supposed to be doing. Experience. Is my mic on? We're supposed to be experiencing heaven on earth. And there are they who want it all to themselves. They don't want to share with you. Now, I'm not talking about the government. I'm talking about a faction, an elite class. Okay. They don't want to share with you, and they don't have to. Thank you very much. Thank you for confirming that the mic is fine. Thank you very much. They don't have to share with you. That's not the point. This is capitalism. You're supposed to, you're supposed to learn the game, get better as you go on. Each level of your successors should become wiser and more refined in application of this system. That's the point. The stages, the levels, the stairway to heaven. You should be ascending not only mentally, spiritually, but also physically. You should be ascending. That is the point. Okay. That's why the wealthy seem to get wealthier, because they figured out something that we now know. And we're going to share that with you, but you're going to have to join us over at knowledgewell4u@gmail.com. You can get greater details and information about the private courses that we are going to start doing. We need to hear from you this coming week, so that we can incorporate you into the course. Okay. It's only by invite. There will be a small fee, right, to pay for my time and my energy, all right, which value is defined as the amount that someone is willing to pay for something, all right? So if you value me, my hard work, my due diligence, my study, my prowess, if you value that, then you won't mind supporting me as I support you, all right? We're all going to benefit. That's the point, okay? With right knowledge, right information, legally protectable interest, all right, through which we can make competent claims, not the claims of sovereign citizens, not the claims of these people, these gurus are telling you that, you can get all the rainbows and unicorns, and I can show you where the gold is at the end of the rainbow type stuff. Come on, time out for that. We're all too old for that. We've been through the mud with that stuff, right? And nothing has provided us any remedy, all right? But when you have a legally protectable interest and you can back it up by law, they have to pay attention. All right. That's the point. That's what you will get from here, as opposed to anywhere else, as well as this type of teaching. Everything that I state, anything that I claim, I will show you through their documentation, not something I fabricated and created myself. That's my promise. Okay. So let's get to it. Ain't nothing to it but to do it. I don't know. I'm not a rapper, but anyways. All right. So let's get going. So let's talk about this mark. All right. And for a greater understanding on why I am asserting and claiming that the mark of the beast has to do with the following information, you can go back and find those foundational claims in the previous week's lives. Okay. So go back and check it out for yourself. We got to move forward. Otherwise, we'll never get to the end of this. All right. And then, to the end of the yellow brick road, right? Which is why I wrote the book using, borrowing from the Wizard of Oz, the denotation and expression of the yellow brick road. Later for that. All right. So we are at the Social Security Administration website known as the POMS, the Program Operations Manual System. All right. This is very vital, very important. As far as I know, I was the first to bring this information onto the YouTube platforms. Okay. As far as I know, you can check the dates on that. All right. So we are at RM, you see there, 102.12.001, defining the legal name for an Social Security number. And my contention right off the bat, and I'm not afraid to say it, that the mark of the beast is the combination of the legal name, which is an indicia, which from the Latin means a mark. Okay? The legal name. The mark is to indicate, or indicia, indicate to whom you belong, to whose you are. Therefore, you are marked. All right. And what we just read from the Black's Law Dictionary, going to the term citizen, is that this is an individual who has become a member of a jural society, aka a state, who thereby has become a subject to the dominion. And you don't think that the king marks his citizens? You've been marked. So my contention is that the legal name is a part of this mark, aka the mark of the beast. Okay. The other being the Social Security number, as you're going to see, and subsequent other things. We'll get into it as we go. I don't want to get too far ahead of myself because I have to prove everything that I'm asserting, don't I? Here we go. So let's get to work. What is the legal name? Again, a reputable source. You can see the URL at the top of the screen. So this is not a screen capture. This is legitimately there. You may visit there too. Listen, what is the legal name? It says for Social Security Administration enumeration purposes. A legal name consists of a what? First name and a last name, aka a surname. It's very important that you follow right from the beginning because it's going to build and build and build on top of itself to come to back up my assertions and my claims. So please pay attention. For Social Security Administration enumeration purposes, a legal name. What makes up a legal name? It consists of a first name and a last name. Therefore, whenever you see the terms first name and last name on a document next to a long line that you're supposed to fill in, what they are saying is, give us the legal name. Give us Barabbas. I don't know why I did that. I'm just being silly. Give us the legal name. In other words, if I had a legal form here, everything has that legal before it, doesn't it? Because they have to disclose. They have to put it in your face so you don't have a legal standing to say they never told me. Notice is your constitutional right. constitutionally protected right, I should say. That's why they always have to put it in your face. What do you think a movie is? They're putting it in your face, and you are merely taking it as entertainment as opposed to due notice. And that's why it seems that everything that they put in. Okay, I think you're picking up what I'm putting down. So whenever you see on a legal document the terms first name next to a long line and then last name, what they are asking you for is to disclose what your legal, or what we used to say back in the hood, what's your government name? Woo! That hits harder now, doesn't it? Yeah, we've always known. This ain't the name your mama gave you or daddy gave you. This is the name that the government has given you. Therefore, it is an indicia or indicator of who you belong to, because it belongs to the government. Sorry to all y'all thinking y'all can patent the name and do everything you want to the name and own the name. You are 100% wrong. Wrong. How can you own that which belongs to Caesar? Touch not Caesar's things, and do not disrupt his commerce and trade, or you may be disappeared. Don't do it. You don't have to do it. We're going to teach you the way that the game is meant to be played in accordance with the founding fathers. This is a legitimate gentleman's game. Either learn it or don't. It's up to you. But you better not disrupt his commerce and trade. Don't step on his toes. He's got the bigger military. Not only the military, but other alphabet groups, you know. Oh, and they're coming. 87,000 armed IRS agents, mind you. Come on now. You think they're playing games? Don't step on Caesar's stuff. Anyways, I digress. Working hard for y'all. Show your love, show your support, donate if you appreciate this information. Whom the Son has set free is free indeed. Listen, your government name is the name that the government gave you. It sounded like a rap, didn't it? Your government name is the name that the government gave you. All right, enough of this silliness. And so it wasn't yours is the point. You cannot own it. You cannot patent it. You might be able to lien it, but later for that. But it's not your property. It's a loaner. How do you know it's a loaner? Because it was something that was given to you before you could even be cognizant, or take cognition or have cognition about it. The state gave it to you. The government gave it to you. Why? For the same reason that you give training wheels or incorporate training wheels on a bicycle and then give it to your child, because they will fall off and hurt themselves because they don't understand the mechanism of how the bicycle works. They have not yet experienced and understood balance, centrifugal forces, and what have you. And until their stabilizer muscles kick in and are able to support them, and they understand how fast they must go to keep that thing erect, they can hurt themselves. Likewise, a citizen who does not understand how the game is played or what they have in their possession could hurt themselves. And so we're going to give them a trainer entity, something that comes to them by default, something that they can inherit when they agree to become a citizen. We're going to give them this one. And they can use this their entire life if they so choose. But if you don't know how to layer corporations and what have you on top of that, which demonstrate competence, legal competence, which demonstrate that you have a greater understanding of how this system actually works. If you don't know how to layer these entities, these other artificial persons, in addition to that default entity that you were given upon your birth, then you will always be on the lower rung of society. You will always perpetuate poverty throughout your legacy. Until Neo shows up on the scene and discovers that he is God. He is the one. He is the chosen one. He's starting to believe. He doesn't need to dodge bullets. He merely applies and administers his estate in accordance with the true DNA of the system. That is the understanding. You heard it here first. That is the understanding of this system. When the time comes, you don't need to dodge the bullets. You just got to know how to maneuver. Ye are gods. I need you to understand that, understand that, and overstand that. Ye are gods. Matter of fact, I'll go a step further. And let's print that shirt. Ye are gods. Let's print that shirt and put KnowledgeWellians. Ye are gods. Ye are gods. Huh? Are you going to participate in the Antichrist system? Meaning, are you going to forget your natural existence and therefore only be subject to an artificial existence? I'm not saying that we don't need the artificial existence. I'm saying that when the time comes, you won't need to dodge the bullets, if you're picking up what I'm putting down. You're only going to get it like this here. You better bring your cousins, your nephews, your nieces. They can come and learn too. It's time for us to build our legacy. It's time for us to put our game piece on the board and actually start to live and incorporate heaven on earth. Arise in your understanding, in your consciousness. Become aware. That's what we're saying. Joseph Henson says, I ordered my checks system report, and it reported that my social security number was first issued or reported in 1974, and I was born in 1970. Yep. We'll get deeper into that understanding. I do have documents and paperwork that I got through the FOIA requests and things like that, but we ain't ready for that yet. But I appreciate that information, Joseph Henson. It is, we can explain. We can explain. I don't want to cause too much. I don't want to cause any confusion to people by getting, we need that foundation. You know, the gurus came in promising, the world, and, they're not able to produce. They're not able to back up what they are claiming that they can do. It's all mythological. It's all contrived. It's all what we would like to happen. And some of these documents seem to talk about this situation, but it has no basis in law. Therefore, it's not legally protectable. Therefore, the third branch of government, the judiciary, does not have to recognize it, or nor can they sanction in accordance with those assertions and claims. So it's a loss. So any investment you've put into that $5,000 for this guru to write up some documents, his own documents, mind you, why do we need to write up our own documents when there are legally protectable documented interest or interested documents that they provide you? You can literally order boxes of their documents, have them shipped to your house. So you're doing way more work. We were doing way more work than was even necessary. So then when we submit these papers on lined paper, school paper, full of words, terms that are being misused and whatever, they don't recognize them. They send them back to you in a nice envelope saying, please do not send these here. This is not appropriate. This is not correct. And you did all that work, wasted all that time unnecessarily, unfruitful, unwise. So we need not go down that road anymore. Joseph Henson said, preach, Neo. Terry Camp says 7. I feel myself getting stronger. Joseph Henson says all my family is indoctrinated. And that's the way it's going to be. That's the way it's going to be. Broad is the way that leads to destruction. Right? Narrow is the way to eternal life. That the Bible says it just the way it should be stated. 95% are not going to make it. And it is what it is. It's the circle of life. It's just the way it's meant to be. It's the circle of life. How do we know that that's true? Have you paid attention to nature? Looks brutal, don't it? The cheetah chasing down the innocent little petite gazelle. What kind of God would allow this brutality? It's the circle of life. Not everybody's going to make it because many are called. Billions of sperm cells were swimming right next to you. Billions. Can you imagine what that might look like? So, maybe something like a triathlon. You ever watch a triathlon? Especially when they're in the water, all you see is just splashing water. It looks like a bunch of seals, or some kind of, in the ocean or whatever, and they're swimming, and they're right next to each other. They're swimming for the goal. Not everyone will make it, though. A triathlon will start off with perhaps hundreds of people. But when you go and fast forward to the end, how many people actually make it? Many are called. All of your brothers and sisters that were swimming next to you, little sperm cells, many of them are called. They all hear the calling. This is the way to go. This is the way to go. Follow the light. Go into the light, etc., right? All of them swimming like there's no tomorrow, because there wasn't going to be a tomorrow. If you don't make it, there's no tomorrow. It's eternal darkness and separation, damnation, destruction. You'll be cast out of mama's body. I'm not trying to be gross, but I'm trying to paint that picture for you. So, I'm not trying to be gross. Put the children away for a little bit. I hope you're picking up what I'm putting down, though. This is so very vital and very important. This is rational analysis through which we can discover natural law. If we don't understand these basic fundamentals of our existence in natural law, then you only have one other option. Positive law, man-made law, by which you are made subjects to a legal order, artificial existence, artificial persons. We must understand, we must come to comprehend, us 5%ers, maybe I shouldn't use that. You get what I'm saying. The few of us who are not only called, but the chosen. That's why you're here right now. Joseph Henson says, I was not looking for any answers for the statement. It was just interesting that the report date was different than my birth date. Yes. I have the documentation to explain that. We will get into that. Terry Camp gives me a bullseye. We hit it, Terry. We are the anointed ones. We are the chosen ones. We are set apart. That's why we don't have right now 1.9 thousand people paying attention, even though we are live. Let's keep going a little bit longer here. What is this mark, this legal name, this indicia? What is it? Where did it come from? How did it attach to us? The legal name is made of what? The first name and the last name. Again, when you see it on documentation that you are filling out, any contracts, any legal documentations, whatever, it's going to say, put your first name here and put your last name here. They're asking you to summons that legal name. Where did it come from? We're gonna tell you. So the legal name is the name used to do what? I told you all is commerce and trade. Even the very indicia, the governmental name that they gave you, being itself a legal construct that you do not own, you are merely loaned it as training wheels on a bicycle until you learn how to ride without the governmental crutch. Sobering, isn't it? Being that there are a multiplicity of Americans, United States citizens, who are dependent perpetually upon the government handout. That is indicative. That is a sign to the legal order and the system that they lack legal competence. Let me qualify that statement. Don't yell at me. I grew up on the government system. Don't yell at me. Let me qualify what I'm saying. Let me put my disclaimer out there. The government was created for these purposes: the infirm, the widows, the fatherless, the disadvantaged, right? So for those purposes, I recognize the government legitimately and their agencies to help those people. Because if we didn't establish those agencies and the government to handle that, then you would have to do it yourself as a community, right? As a tribe, as a community, as a society. So what we did is we created those aspects of government, those agencies of government to handle that, so that all of us wouldn't have to take on that burden on a perpetual basis. Okay. So for that point, that's all legitimate. I get it. I'm with it. Okay. But there are a multiplicity of individuals who just lay back on the system, who are able-bodied men and women, that if they just apply themselves and were willing to go through a little bit of a struggle, like them sperm cells, you're chosen. If you're a chosen one, as opposed to just the many that are called, you're gonna have to put it in. You're gonna have to fight. You're gonna slam against walls and other specimen. You're swimming upstream, baby. You got to make it. You're tired. Everybody's buffeting against you. Holding you back, crabs in a bucket. But that chosen one is going to persevere. So hopefully you are that individual. You have that characteristic and personality. And not the ones who just become dependent on the system and taking the easy way out all the time. This is, I contend, the condition of those known as gurus. They're teaching you to take the easy way out, that there's some cheat code to the system. How's that working out for you? Nuh-uh, not here. So listen, the legal name is the name used to do what? Sign legal documents, deeds, or contracts. This is what that name, that government crutch that they gave you, those starter training wheels, they gave them to you to do what? They gave you the legal governmental name to do what? 3 things: sign legal documents, deeds, or contracts, all of which are instrumentalities of commerce and trade. Revelations chapter 13, and I think it was 16 or 6, verse 6 or 16 says what? Without the mark, the indicia, that which indicates to who you belong. Without it, you will not be able to do what? Buy, sell, or trade. Tell me, can you buy without a contract or without signing something in some way? Can you sell without contracting or signing documentation in some way or fashion? Can you trade likewise? I think you know the answer to that. It is a resounding no. We'll be right back. We'll take a short break so I can get some breath. Stay right where you are.
Here are a few other items in demand on our Square site. The Person Defined series, a 9-part video lecture series, comprehensively outlining the scheme to artfully deceive mankind into trading away his birthright, his natural liberties, and inherent rights. Pre-orders for the Yellow Bricks of Emerald, the first edition, offered presently as an ebook only. This book comprehensively uncovers the legal schemes, past, present, and future, of the elite powers and the U.S., subjecting American citizens to servitude and allegiance due to their own ignorance. The KnowledgeWell Video Lecture Series Trust Course, a comprehensive lecture series educating on the history, effects, and administration of the wealth-preserving, asset-protecting, private commercial entity known as a trust. Plus, we have our very own template and instructions to help you set up yours. And, coming soon, our apparel and product store for all things KnowledgeWell, including shirts, hats, jackets, cups, bumper stickers, and more. For all this and much, much more, as well as for any questions or comments, email to knowledgewell4u@gmail.com or go to our Square site at knowledgewell-media.square.site. And now, you've been made free. What are you going to do with it?
All right, and we are back real quick. Let me just put up some promotional content, information for you, how you can support us. First of all, you can donate to our Cash App, which is $, scrolling across the bottom of the screen right now, $ American Consulate. That is our Cash App. We appreciate any little or big thing that you do. And those finances go towards compensating our KnowledgeWell Media and our staff for presenting this type of hard-hitting information. And so again, value is the amount that someone is willing to pay for it. Hopefully you value what it is that we have to offer here, this hard-hitting, factual, fact-based information. All right. Yeah, it encourages us to keep doing what we're doing and to work hard at it and be diligent at it. And it shows that people actually value it. You know, it's hard to continue to do something when there is the perception that, well, nobody appreciates it anyways, you know. So it's just a way of showing encouragement and that you jive with it. Okay, basically. All right. And so we appreciate, again, any little or big thing you do. Cash App, $ American Consulate. Okay. Also, the email will stay up during the entire show right there. If you're interested again in getting involved in our course towards remedy, hit us up there this week so that we can get you enrolled into the class. It won't take long. I'll tell you that. It won't take long. We have the sauce and it ain't out there right now. Just to put it out there. It's not out there right now. Nobody's teaching what is necessary. You can also show support by going to our KnowledgeWell Media Square site. That's where you can pick up things like the t-shirts the t-shirt we're going to be giving away with our brand on it and what have you, with sayings, various sayings. There's different ones that we have, so it's not just one. There's different colors that you can get. There's also cups, mugs, thermoses, and there's also other content that we have done over the 9 years. And you can kind of see how we have grown and metastasized into what we are, this force that we are today at KnowledgeWell Media. So that's another great way to show your support and get something in return. All right. Something tangible, I'll say, that you can physically have delivered to you. All right. So we appreciate your support in that way as well. That's our Square site, KnowledgeWell Media Square site. Also, we will be disclosing more on the private side. Those remedies, we'll be storing them here at our patreon.com. If you're interested in becoming a member there, then you will have unfettered access to that content. How you like that? How you like me now? All right. And as usual, let me just put up this disclaimer before we continue on the legal person and the indicia, the mark of the beast, that which is attached to each and every one of you at birth, et cetera, et cetera. All right. And so I just want to let you know that none of this is intended to be, nor should it be construed as legal advice. This is for educational purposes only. If you need an attorney or legal advice, go seek yourself a competent attorney and please be advised. Okay. All right. Let's get back to it. Looking at the comment section real fast. All right. BB Production is doing a bang up job of putting all of the links to everything, the aforementioned things. So please do your due diligence if you are hungry for that food. Let's get back to it. All right. So we were talking about the legal name being comprised of the first name and last name. And we have found and discovered. Remember, you have to discover natural law. We have discovered that the legal name, what it is used for, these three things. It is used to sign legal documents, deeds, or contracts. That's its purpose. Why do you have a government name? That's why. Anybody else telling you anything else, they better be able to back it up and prove it, like I am with the Social Security Administration's site. If they can't back it up, then you need to back up. That is what the purpose of the government name, the legal name is. So don't, what do you mean you own it? What do you mean you copyright it? How you do that? When it was given to you, it doesn't belong to you. You are merely using it. It is government subsidized for these purposes, to participate in commerce and trade, without which you are not able to buy, sell, or trade. Are you picking up what I just put down? Mark of the beast. Now, we know what it consists of. We know why we have it. Let's discover how it's made, how they constructed it legally. Here you go. There's a couple considerations known as, one is a given name and one is a family name. What is a given name? Let's take a look. Legal definition of given name. Oh, crud. Why did I do that? Legal definition of a given name. A given name is the name a person is given at birth. Now, Joseph Henson just shared with us that there was a differentiation between the date that he was actually born and the date of first issue of his Social Security number. There was a differentiation of 4 years. He was born 1970. He says, but here, I'll put it up for you. I ordered my check system report, and it reported that my Social Security number was first issued or reported in 1974, but he was born in 1970. A difference of 4 years. Okay? Thank you for that information, Joseph. So there's a registration and there's an actual birth. In other words, in accordance with the consideration of the Antichrist and the artificial trying to usurp the natural, trying to replace that which is natural under positive law, which is man-made law, as opposed to natural law, which governs over human conduct and behaviors. There's a distinction between your natural, physical birth as a human being brought on this natural plane and the legalities that come subsequent to that. Which came first, the chicken or the egg? You see, one thing we know for certain, and two things we know for sure, that even if the state did not exist, if a man and a woman get together and do the horizontal polka, 9 to 10 months later, a natural human being will be born without any consideration for a state, an artificial person, a jural society. We didn't need that to create humans, in other words. So the human came before the legalities that followed: documentation, birth contracts, certificates of live birth, social security cards, social security numbers, driver's licenses. Are you picking up what I'm putting down? And so, again, going back to the reading, a given name is the name a person is given at birth. Your mother or father, or perhaps even your grandmother, gave you a name, hence the term given name. This is not the same as the name known as the legal name given to you by Caesar, the state, the government. It is not one and the same. You're going to understand that and see that demonstration before you today. Also known as a first name or personal name, it can be made up of more than one part, such as a full first name and middle name. Now, do not be deceived. God is not mocked, meaning the natural order is not mocked. It cannot be replaced. It should not be replaced because that is Antichrist. Many will try to mimic it. In fact, the scripture says there are many Antichrists. But don't be deceived by this statement, because you notice they said it can be made, it's also known as a first name or personal name. But we know that the Social Security Administration said that the legal name is also made up of or consists of the first name and last name. See how they're trying to conflate the two to deceive you. The given name is not the same thing as the legal name. That's why they have different designations. One is a legal name, one is a given name. And they make the distinction themselves here. You can clearly see that they're talking about the legal name and saying, what is the legal name? Then why would they need to have a separate designation for this type of name if they're one and the same? Are you picking up what I'm putting down? Oh, I'm your huckleberry, uncovering all of the darkness that is trying to put out the light of understanding. You won't get me, Jack. I see the numbers as Neo did. You can't get me by the superficial anymore. I can clearly see, or I can see clearly now. The rain is gone. All right, let's keep going. So what is a given name as opposed to a legal name? What is it? It says in Western cultures, people typically keep the same given name throughout their lives, but there are some circumstances where they may change it. Okay, let me look at another definition here real quick. Let's see what Britannica has to say about a given name. Given name, part of a personal name that distinguishes an individual from other members of a group, clan, or family. Okay, a personal name. It is typically used in conjunction with a surname or family name. Okay, which in many cases, see, again, it said that a legal name consists of what? A first name and a last name. Here, they're saying what would be in legal consideration a last name. They're saying, no, it's a family name. You see how they're disclosing the distinctions between positive law and natural law. They constantly are doing it. You just have to have eyes to see and ears to hear. You have to be able to read, quote unquote, between the lines. You have to demonstrate legal competence in order to know what is really going on. As G.I. Joe says, or no, Transformers, more than meets the eye. Oh, that was a terrible note. Okay. Oh, I'm not sharing the screen. Wait, what's going on here? Oh, that's old. Okay. Okay, just a little bit more. And then we'll go on to part 3. We may do the midweek Wednesday at 7 p.m. If it continues to grow. If interest continues to grow, you keep sharing and definitely hitting those thumbs up so we can beat up that algorithm. Then we will incorporate Wednesdays at 7. I think it was 7 or 7:30. All right. That the times are subject to change, just so that you know. But we are incorporating more so that we can establish greater value. Okay, as long as you will support us, all right, financially as well as in attendance, then we will offer more and greater output. But I'm not going to give more of myself if that which I am giving does not prove to be of value to you. Okay, I don't want to waste your time, and I certainly don't want to waste mine. Okay, if you will have me, support me. With that being said, okay, so which in many cases is inherited and held in common by members of a family. Okay, listen, there was so much said right there. So we're talking about the given name as opposed to the legal government name, right? This is the name that you were given by your family. And then look what it says. The legal name, which in many cases is inherited. From who? By members of a family. It didn't say from the government or given this from the government. That's the difference between the legal name, which is a governmental construct. It's not something you inherit from your family. There's a distinction right there. Did you pick it up? All right, let's keep going. Back to the Social Security Administration. This is what a legal name is. And it says that it's different from what we're about to talk about now. The legal name is different. The government name is different. Okay? So look, here is the instruction to the Social Security Administration employee. Because that's what we're looking at, aren't we? Look, aren't we looking at a manual? And it's made by the Social Security Administration, as you can see here. This is a manual. It's instructing its employees on how to determine a legal name versus a given name and family name. You don't believe me? Watch this. This is an instruction here at 2. Translate given names and family names shown on documents submitted as Social Security number evidence to what? The first and last name. Wait a minute. I thought you said that the legal name is the same as the given name and family name. If so, then why do you need to translate the given name and family name to what? The first name and last name. If they're one and the same. But alas, they are not, as we are now uncovering. Because you are given this legal name for what purposes? To sign legal documents, deeds, or contracts. These are documents, deeds, and contracts under the legal order. This is Caesar's stuff, in other words, not yours. If you want to play in commerce and trade, if you want to be able to sign legal documents, deeds, or contracts, you must take on the mark, the legal name, which is separate and distinct from the given name and family name. Because what they're going to do, what the Social Security Administration's employees are instructed to do, that when you come in and apply for a Social Security number, sleight of hand, translate those given names and family names that they fill out, that they put on the form, because they don't know what they're doing. The applicant doesn't know when they come in applying for a Social Security number. They don't know that they're actually fastening or affixing their given name and family name to the documents that they submit. They don't know that that's what they're doing. But lo and behold, you as our employee are going to help us in the translation, in the conversion of that natural gift into the legal name. See, the Social Security Administration worker doesn't know what the heck they're doing. So what are you yelling at them for? Why are you trying to make the claim that they're trying to deceive you? They're merely doing their job. The consideration is that ye are gods. Ye are the creator. You are the chosen one. You're supposed to see this thing and be able to break this down. You're supposed to exercise what is known as legal competence. They are not supposed to teach you. You are supposed to have the game. You are supposed to have the instructions to the game. You should have been formed and fitted with the instructions to the game, because guess what? It was your family that came over here and signed up for citizenship. You came and sat down at the big boys' table, not knowing the rules to the game. And then your forefathers and foremothers birthed you into this game and did not leave you the breadcrumbs, such as the breadcrumbs in Hansel and Gretel, so that you could find your way back home. So the current system, they don't feel bad for you. They're saying, we have government handouts and subsidies that you can use because you clearly do not know the game. You clearly are not legally competent to understand how this game works. Don't worry, we got you. We got you. That's why we'll afford you this legal person, this artificial person that you think it's just sweet. You think we just love you think you're entitled to just get handouts your whole entire life. So since you think that and believe that, you'll be subjected to poverty your total existence. Don't worry, we'll give you 2,000 calories, just enough to keep you alive. No worries. You got to get this game. You got to, as they say, get your game up. That's the consideration. The discussion of the elephant in the room, of slavery, in all of the diabolical things that we all recognize, is not going to save your future. Time for us to put on our big boy pants. And when the enemy struck its blow years, decades ago, your complaint is not going to change that fact. You have to put on your big boy pants, learn this game, excel at it, and beat them at their own game. You want to know how you get back to your godhood? It's in what I just said. Beat them at their game. And when you're at the top, that's when you can make moves. Ascension to your godhood, back to your first estate. Because as it stands right now, you've waived your estate because you could not, or you did not, employ rational analysis. So therefore, you could not discover natural law. And so you find yourself as a member of the political community, which translates to you being subject to a man-made dominion. Are you picking up what I just put down? If you want to be free, then you must get this right knowledge. The truth maketh you free. You don't have to be bound or enslaved, is what it's saying. But you must find the truth. That's the greater understanding. That is true enlightenment. But you got to be careful who you're fed by. Because whether you agree with the system or not, whether you think it's a hypothecation and, it's illegitimate because its gains were gotten through the subjection and, usurpation and murder and all that, fine. You can keep that sentiment. You can still hold on to that and you can still do something about it, but you must become your God self again in order to influence that. We're trying to do it in the opposite way. You're trying to use anger and an emotional sentiment to impact, influence, and overhaul an artificial person. Yeah. The United States and its government are artificial persons. What does it care about how you feel or emotionally or the tantrum that you throw as a human being? It could care less. It has no emotion. It is non-sentient. Therefore, you cannot win the battle that way. You must. I got to be careful with my terminologies here. You ever heard of the Trojan horse? Huh? Not a single shot fired. Not a single shot fired. Not a single spear thrown. Not a single cannonball fired. I don't know what else to say. Learn the game, ascend in your consciousness, awareness, and knowledge, right knowledge. Become the top of the food chain, then make changes. What a novel idea. That's how you play the game. And so that's why I'm doing what I'm doing. Please do not mistake this for being complacent and oblivious to the detriment handed out and meted out to my melanated family. One must move in wisdom to get where you need to go. Sometimes you won't even need to fire a shot. Are you picking up what I'm putting down? That's where we're at. Hopefully you can get that. All else doesn't work. Look at the civil rights movements. Look at all the leaders of the civil rights movement. Enough said? All right. We are at 2 hours and 17 minutes. I will give you to 2:30 to pose your questions. And then I'm getting off of here because I'm getting hungry. I'll give you to did I say 2:30? We're at 2 hours and 17 minutes right now. I will give you to 2 hours and 30 minutes, which is 12 minutes from now. So 12 more minutes, and then we're getting off of here. So please get your comments, your questions, your concerns, your adverse opinions, whatever. Bring it now. You got 12 minutes. All right? 12 minutes. Looking at the comment section here, Joseph Henson says, the pen is mightier than the sword. Move in the spirit. Man, you ain't never spoken the truth like that. I'm just saying. That's what, and we on the same page. We on the same page, Joseph, because I was saying in my mind, the pen is mightier than the sword. We got to meet someday. We got to meet someday. 11. Okay. My bad. 11. Oh, you're counting down. Very good. All right. Civil rights movement was orchestrated by the controllers. Thank you. Couldn't have said it better myself. Terry Camp says 7, 7, 7. I feel myself getting stronger. BB Production says 777. Joseph Henson is giving us our countdown, 11 minutes and 40 seconds at the time of this posting, which was at the 1:20. So, and BB Production, laugh out loud. Okay. All right. So, waiting on you. Questions, comments, concerns? Again, BB Production, how are we giving away this shirt? How are we doing it? What's the game? What are we doing? Did we compile a bunch of questions that we can give them or what? Joseph Henson says, I rejoined your Patreon. Awesome. Welcome back. Welcome back, family. We'll get that going. In fact, at some point, here's your warning. At some point, I'm going to consolidate the last 3, 4, or 5 weeks of lives. I'm going to strip them from the public offering on the YouTube, and I'll start dumping those down as one package over there on the Patreon. Because this is hard-hitting information. All right? This is hard-hitting information. Some people just are here to steal. They're not demonstrating that they show any value, and they're just here to steal. They'll take it, they'll rip it apart, and go and take pieces of it and put it up on their own platforms. Theft, stealing, and don't give any credit to where credit is due. Period. Point blank. And if you come across them, because if you shop around YouTube like I do, you'll come across them after this date and after the dates of the previous lives, and you can see where they got that information from. Give them a black eye in the comment section, would you? Let them know that they're a thief and a robber. The truth ain't in them. All right. BB Production says, welcome back, Joseph. All right. Joseph Henson says, I bought a shirt, so it is Terry's by default. Okay. All right. Well, all right. I mean, I don't have an argument against that. It's just Joseph and Terry here. Well, at least that if you are interested in winning this t-shirt, you need to sound off. It says we have at least 8 people right now as of this live. If you're interested in this t-shirt, let us know that you're listening so that we can enter you into, we have a few more moments here. I would like, everybody to have an opportunity. We just need you to sound off. We see that you're watching. All right. So if you're interested, get involved. All right. With that being said, give a little bit more. All right. So the given name we have determined is separate and distinct from what is called the legal name, hands down. All right. I didn't make that determination. You can clearly see it through the Social Security Administration's POMS manual, the manual to the employees of the Social Security Administration. All right. They are told to translate. Let me ask you a question. What does it mean to translate something? Oop, that wasn't right. Hold on. What does it mean to translate something? Why are they being instructed to translate? Watch this. Legal translation is the process of converting legal documents into another language while preserving the original meaning. Okay? So what does it mean to translate something? It is to convert. It's a process to convert something into another language. Watch this, y'all. The Social Security Administration's employees are told to convert your given name and family name into a completely different language. And since we're talking about a conversion into what we now know is the legal name or the first name and last name, right? That's what we determined up here. It says that that's what a legal name consists of, a first and last name. So the Social Security Administration employee is told to convert your given name and family name into what we now know is the legal name. And they said that translation is to convert something into another language. Can anybody tell me what that other language would be in consideration of what we call here or what we now know is a legal name? If it's a legal name, then it is under the legal order, which is an order that is foreign to the natural order. So the language under the natural order is the language of God. What is the language under the legal order or positive law? Wouldn't that be known as legalese? Isn't that a type of language that the legal order uses? So translate their natural name, the name that they were given naturally upon their birth from the father, grandmother, or whomever, steal that, convert that into something that we can use and that can be recognized or sanctioned under positive law. Because if you do not do this, employee of the Social Security Administration, we will have no jurisdiction. We cannot recognize it. We cannot even punish it or sanction it in accordance with positive law, which positive law are what? Statutes. We need them to take on a artificial person so that we can recognize them and sanction them under penalty of law, laws known as statutes, enactments of a duly authorized legislature, because only natural law properly governs moral human conduct and behaviors. Positive law has to do with jural or juristic persons, persons that are law persons, persons that are created by the state, persons that are created by the government, persons that can be recognized or sanctioned by or under positive law. You have to take on the mark of the beast, otherwise the beast will not recognize you as its own, aka the legal name. You have to take that on so that it can recognize you or recognize you. It cannot see you otherwise. Let me just blow your mind with this in closing. There was a movie back in, I believe, the 80s. It was called The Predator, starring Arnold Schwarzenegger and Carl Weathers, rest in peace. I believe he passed away. And others, wrestlers that you now see. And I think, was it Dolph Lundgren in there as well? I don't know. Don't quote me at that. Don't quote me at that. The original Predator. What's it called? Predator? Predator. If you recall and remember, there was a scene where Arnold Schwarzenegger by himself was fleeing from the Predator, and he ends up sliding down the side of a hill, a mountain, a long distance. And as he's sliding, no, I take that back. He slid off of a cliff and ends up falling into a body of water. And the Predator was pursuing heavily upon him. There was no way that he was going to be able to get away. And he had not yet figured out what the power or how to destroy the Predator. So he was as good as dead. His goose was cooked, right? But alas, when he came up out of the water, yeah, you know, when he pulled himself out of that water, he found himself in mud. He being Arnold Schwarzenegger and his character. And he slid, as he pulled himself out of the water, he was getting covered in mud. And so he did not even notice that the Predator was right there but could not see him. Why? Because he had put on what would be today a facial mask of mud, a mud mask, right? And so the Predator was limited, could not see, did not know that the human was there in his presence, because the mud had acted as a mask, giving Arnold Schwarzenegger, as my brilliant new friend of much intellect is saying, he took on a new persona, a new mask. Persona, it means mask in Latin. This is where we get the word person. That's how they're able to create artificial persons, because they are not one and the same with humanity. It is a layer, a mask that you put on. And so Arnold Schwarzenegger was able to hide his flesh, his humanity, under the veil or cover of the mud mask, giving him a completely different outlook and personality. That's how he was able to escape or evade the predator. Correct. He was baptized in mud. Are you picking up what I just put down? The system is not able to recognize you as a human. You must put on a mask so that you become visible to the system. This is why they give you these legal constructs, without which you are none of his, Caesar's, the government's. Are you picking up what I'm putting down? Joseph, you haven't seen The Predator? Oh my God, I recommend. This is your homework. Everybody watch The Predator for that scene. It's a great movie. Arnold Schwarzenegger, and they did a great job. It was a resurrection. I never thought of it that way. Thanks. Oh, absolutely. I mean, this is what sets us apart here at KnowledgeWell Media. That is hot off the press. The universe just downloaded that, uploaded that into it's in the recesses of the mind. It's in the subconscious. I watched the movie. I watched that movie back in the 80s for this moment today. How you like me now? How would I be able to teach that or use that analogy? Lest it be stored in the recesses of the mind. See how the universe is bringing it all together? Yeah, universe, one, turn, all together. Uni is one, a verse is turn. You see? That's the greatness of the chosen ones. Question, Joseph Henson, did you compare your DD214? Uh-oh, I'm past time. How are we, BB Production, have you come up with a way? Let me see. All right. Joseph Smith is in the building. Joseph Smith, 1, 2, 3. Wow. 777 777 777. Thank you for those 777s. I feel myself getting stronger and stronger and stronger. All right. Let's end up. We got to get out of here. So if you just came in, I told you at the end of the show, we will be giving away this woke t-shirt with the KnowledgeWell brand on it, brand on the sleeve there. All right. Booyah. Okay. We'll be giving this shirt away at the end of the show, which is coming upon us very quickly here. I just got to put a cap on everything and then we'll be out of here. All right. Okay. All right. So let's end this up. He was baptized in mud. I want to make sure I caught all the comments. Okay, now that I know which time you're okay, on Wednesday, Wanda and I will be there. Awesome. Oh, you didn't know? Did I not put that in there? Yeah, see, 7 or 7:30 Central Standard Time. Okay, on Wednesday. We'll try it out. As long as we have support and there's value in it, we'll keep going with it. If not, I'm just going to stick to exclusively Sundays. Don't forget, we also have the remedy classes and courses that we're going to be starting to roll out. We need to know whether or not you want to participate in that this week. So hit me up at knowledgewellforyou@gmail.com. Express your interest for the remedy course. The remedy course will be based in law, legally protectable interest, not on conjecture, not on what I heard from another YouTube channel. If we can't get it from the legal documents, the legal books that are recognized under law, we're not going to assert it. Ixnay on that. Okay. That is my promise to you. If we cover it, all right, we are going to exhaust it to the point where any politician or agency of state that tries to argue against it is going to have an uphill battle themselves. All right. We come in with the sauce. All right. And so we do have remedy. We do have economical practice teachings that you can use that will benefit you starting immediately, including trusts and establishment of corporations and whatever. We are using this for educational purposes only, obviously, right? Not legal advice. All right. We can lead you. All right. But we're not going to make you drink. Okay. We are not attorneys. We can't do that. Let's see what else we got here. All right. Terry Camp says she'll be there too. Awesome. Awesome. Okay. All right. Appreciate that. All right. So let me do this. All right. So we talked about, okay. So recognition. This is what it's all about, is recognition by the state and the government. Okay. They cannot recognize you because you are natural human beings. Therefore, you must put on a mask so that they can see you. That's why, under the definition of jural, which is a type of person, a type of state, a body politic, a jural society, and juristic and juridical persons, those are all recognized or sanctioned by positive law. Okay, that's all it can see. That's all it can see. That's all they can see. Okay, they can't see your humanity. That's why you can't go in and make a natural law argument in the court. That's why you can't come in there averring your constitutional rights, blah, blah, blah. What is the Constitution? What was the Constitution designed to protect? Your individual liberties from government overreach and violating your human rights. So you can't come into the state courts and argue constitutional rights. Why? Because you became a member of that state, a citizen of that state. Separation of powers, ring a bell? How are you going to argue individuality when you're a member of the corporation? Therefore, you can't come in there and try to use the Constitution to usurp the authority of the state. It won't happen. You're not an individual. You're a member of a political community. How can you be an individual? Okay, you don't believe me? What? You don't believe me? Okay, stay right there. We're going to do this and then I got to get off. All right, so I want to know, let's see here. I got to make up something. Let's see. What can we make up? I'm thinking. But you didn't believe me, so I got to prove something to you. Let me pull this weapon off the shelf right here. Let me prove this to you. Let me show you how blind the system is to your humanity and why. Let me show you. Let me show you something. All right. So we are reading from, real quick, it's real short. We're reading from the treatise on the law of private corporations aggregate by Joseph K. Engel and Samuel Ames, 7th edition, revised, corrected, and enlarged by John Lathrop of the Boston Bar. Okay, and there's your little company, Boston Little Brown and Company, 1861. How you like me now? All right, let's see what they have to say about the aforementioned content. Look at the bottom part here. We're going to be in the footnote. And we're going to be looking here at number 4. As per Tillman, CJ, in Myers versus Irwin, 2S and R, 731, and Herger versus McCullough, 2, Denio, 77, and Van Sandow versus Moore, 1, Russ, chapter 458. Okay, here we go. One of the greatest distinctions in contemplate, there's that word again. I told you, they clearly make the distinction always and forever. They have to disclose. One of the greatest distinctions in contemplation of the law. What kind of law? We're talking about Partnerships and corporations. So what type of law would this be? Natural law or positive law? Very, very good. Between partnerships and corporate companies, artificial persons, what's the distinction between partnership and corporate companies or corporations? Here it is that in the first, the law looks to the individuals of whom the partnership is composed. In the first, meaning the partnership. It says the law looks, so positive law looks to the individuals of whom the partnership is composed. Watch this. And knows the partnership no otherwise than as being such a number of individuals. In other words, it doesn't know a partnership except by the individuals who created it. It sees them individually. If there's two members, then it sees the two as individuals in a partnership, not collectively, in other words. While in the second, meaning the corporate company or corporation, watch this, it sees only the creature of the charter, the body corporate, and knows not the individuals. Did you just pick up what it said? It lets you know that the law is limited in its recognition. When it comes to a partnership, which is a partnership by definition is made of two or more individuals, right, who have wrote up an agreement to work together, right, for a business, for business purposes. But a corporation, on the other hand, you give up your individuality and become a member of a community that all acts under a body politic as one universe. One. This is not about you individually. The law does not see you as a citizen, as an individual. You cannot come into the courts and claim individual liberties and rights protected under the Constitution. You're going to come and try and tell them Big Daddy State, right? You're going to go to Grandpa, the federal government, and you're going to tell Grandpa that Dad is not, doing what you wanted to do. What? As long as you live under my roof, I don't care what Grandpa, Grandma, I don't care what anybody has to say. You are my son and I'm your father, is what the state says. How dare you go and try and take my business out to your grandpa? What you think Grandpa gonna do to me? I have sovereign immunity. I am a sovereign nation state. Are you picking up what I'm putting down? And so in the case of the corporation, the law does not see the individuals. It looks at the whole body as one. You wear the mark of the beast. It has one mark, and every citizen has that mark. You don't have your own mark. You have the same mark as everybody else in the system, is what it's saying. There's only one mark of the state of Wisconsin. There's only one mark of the state of Illinois. There's only one mark of the state of Florida. And all of its citizens wear that mark. That is the mark of the beast, the mark of the system. And you have dual citizenship, by the way, meaning the United States also has a mark. You wear both. You're a citizen of the state in which you reside, and you're also a citizen of the state of the United States, both having a mark. So with that being said, I think that's enough for today. We're at 2 hours and 45 minutes, and we need to give away this t-shirt. And let's see. What do we do? What do we do? I don't know why my music isn't working. Yeah, it's not working. Weird. Anyways, let's see. Tell me, what are the 3 purposes for the legal name? What are the 3 purposes of or for the legal name? First one to get the answer correct. Oh, you hear the music? I don't hear it. It's not in my monitor. I don't know why. What are the 3 purposes for the legal name as per the Social Security Administration? Go. While we're waiting on the first answer, don't forget to like, subscribe, even if you're watching this on replay. This is hard-hitting, truthful, factual information that you can only get here, this style of teaching. And so make sure that you come back. We'll be back here Sunday, 11 a.m. Central Standard Time. Quite possibly we will be here Wednesday at about 7 to continue this series. We're also going to be talking about the remedy course. You need to sign up by using this knowledgewell4you@gmail.com right here at the bottom of the screen. Let us know, express interest in the remedy course, and we will get you incorporated into the first installment class. It will not take terribly long. And no. It will not take long. We do have the sauce. We do have the modus operandi. We do have the education on the legally protectable way to do it in accordance with the law. And it's time to make that happen. Well, we'll talk more on that. What else? Our Cash App. Should you find value in what you just heard today and in other videos, and you want to show your appreciation, it's scrolling across the bottom of the screen right now, $ American Consulate. All right. Show your love, show your support, show that you value what we have done here today. All right. Let's see who wins. Who's the first to answer the 3 purposes of the legal name in accordance with the Social Security Administration that we went over today? All right. So we have Joseph Henson answering first. The purpose, he says, is to sign legal documents, deeds, or contracts. All right. Very good. My answer does not count. I took pictures of your slide and I already bought a shirt. I have a feeling that you did that on purpose so that you can defer the new ownership of this shirt to someone else, because I believe that you're a stand-up guy, and I think I'm picking up what you put down. All right. So with that being said, Terry says buy, sell, trade. All right, at this point, I'll let Joseph decide. Well, it's Terry, Wanda, Joseph, and Joe Smith. So, Joseph, since you are the rightful legal owner of the shirt, you may determine who you want to make sure gets the shirt. Joseph, do me a favor. And All Gods is here. My bad. All Gods is here as well. So we do have at least 4 or 5 people here. Okay. Joseph Henson says, please give the shirt to Terry. Your wish is my command. Terry, you officially have the shirt courtesy of Joseph Henson. All right. So that Wanda can buy her own. Okay. All right, Joseph. All right. With that being said, so Terry, we appreciate you. And Terry says Joseph wins. You guys are going to go back and forth. Well, Joseph wants you to have it. So, Terry, you are the proud owner of the woke t-shirt. All right. Courtesy of the creation from BB Productions, please go on over to BB Productions Studios on her YouTube channel, and you can kind of see her creating certain things. And you might be interested in purchasing from her. You'll get a deep discount by mentioning that you heard of her by KnowledgeWell Media. Okay. So, and she'll give you a deep discount, cups, bags, all kinds of different cricket designs and a whole host of things. Just go on over to the BB Productions YouTube channel. All right. And check out what she makes there and creates there. I mean, bang up stuff. Very good stuff. All right. Terry Camp says, thanks to Joseph. And Joseph Henson says, take care and blessings to everyone. Thank you for being here, Joseph, as usual. Thank you all for being here. Terry, All Gods, Joseph Henson, Joseph Smith, Terry, Wanda. Thank you all for being here and being supportive. Really appreciate it. It means the world to me. All right. And we need, Terry, please send your mailing information to the KnowledgeWell for you email so that we can ship out your shirt. If you want an autograph, I'll autograph it. It's up to you. Or if you just want the shirt, that's fine too. You can let us know at the email how you want that done. Okay. All right. Well, with that being said, we'll see you again Sunday, 11 a.m. Central Standard Time right here at KnowledgeWell Media. Otherwise, we may see you on Wednesday as well. Stay tuned for the posts on that as to whether that will happen or not. And don't forget to hit us up at the KnowledgeWell for you at gmail.com email here at the bottom of your screen to express your interest in joining us for the Remedy course. Hands down, going to be the most powerful disclosures and avenues through which you can find your way to the Emerald City. Okay? Following that yellow brick road. BB Productions has also put the Boutique Square site. That's the BB Production Square site, and use the code KW777BB for 10% off. All right. On the products there at BB's boutique. All right. I think I've done my due diligence. Time to go eat. You're welcome, BB Productions. Okay. And yeah, we'll see you. See you soon. Love and light. Or excuse me, live in love and light. All right. Now you've been made free. The question is, what are you going to do with it? We'll talk to you next week or perhaps Wednesday. Take care, everybody. Be safe. Peace.
Submitting your email at the bottom of the Square site page in the Stay in the Loop section to receive priority information, specials, and other insider details. Or by signing up for a 1-hour consultation to tailor your specific educational needs in beginning your journey. You may do so at the aforementioned Square site, once again at KnowledgeWell-media.square.site. Here are a few other items in demand on our Square site. The Person Defined series, a 9-part video lecture series, comprehensively outlining the scheme to artfully deceive mankind into trading away his birthright, his natural liberties, and inherent rights. Pre-orders for The Yellow Bricks of Emerald, the first edition, offered presently as an ebook only. This book comprehensively uncovers the legal schemes, past, present, and future, of the elite powers and the U.S., subjecting American citizens to servitude and allegiance due to their own ignorance. The KnowledgeWell Video Lecture Series Trust Course, a comprehensive lecture series educating on the history, effects, and administration of the wealth-preserving, asset-protecting, private commercial entity known as a trust. Plus, we have our very own template and instructions to help you set up yours. And, coming soon, our apparel and product store for all things KnowledgeWell, including shirts, hats, jackets, cups, bumper stickers, and more. For all this and much, much more, as well as for any questions or comments, email to knowledgewell4u@gmail.com or go to our Square site at knowledgewell-media.square.site. And now, you've been made free. What are you going to do with it?